様。ごめん、ベル君。ごめん。ごめんよ。
Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. The spooky season, the spooky day is among us, and I hope you all get a lot of candy tonight. All right, my friends, we just got done watching DanMachi. This was DanMachi, season 5, episode number 5. And I can't even lie to you guys. When it comes to Freya, I would fold. I would go Gengar. I would fold so hard when it comes to Freya. She just embodies the type of crazy that I just really love. When it comes to a comparison between Hestia and between Freya, it's not even a competition. Like, Hestia is not even on the list, you know? But I get it. She's the one who gave Belle his first chance and all that good stuff. So I definitely understand the why behind it. But yeah, I would fold so hard when it when it comes to Hestia, for sure. So I just wanted to throw that out there that, yeah, your boy would fold. Okay, so episode 5 I thought was a really great episode. And the greatness of the episode doesn't necessarily come from what happened at the end with Freya using like a big time charm magic, finding out that she didn't have to use her like innate goddess holy powers or her innate divine ability. This is just her natural power, her natural charm power as a goddess of lust. This is just her natural innate power, not having to use divinity. And she was able to just basically override everybody. I think they called it everyone's souls in Orario based on her charm magic, and basically like override their thoughts, overrid Belle's kind of like past and his history. And he's still seen as Rabbitfoot, but the way that they see him is like this up-and-coming rookie of the Freya family now. Now, the interesting part is, what does she really expect to do with this? Because a conversion hasn't actually happened. Let's say her charm magic did in fact work on Hestia, as she imagines, and Hestia is going to play like it did. When it comes to actually need to convert Belle, how does she make that happen? Because she's not his goddess. And if she were to go, let's say Hestia doesn't have her memory. She does, but let's say she doesn't. How do you go up to her and be like, hey, I need you to convert this? It's like, well, what do you mean? He's part of your familia already. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you overcome that specific hurdle? So the end of the episode wasn't what made it great. What made the episode great was finally filling in all the gaps for me that I had. And there was a lot of gaps that I had with going into last week, which who is Horn? Who is Seer? You know, what was Freya doing exactly? And it kind of all came together. And they basically explained it this way. Freya would go, and because she's a crazy person, or a crazy god, she would go into like slums and stuff and pretend to be like this like village girl who just wants to help and stuff like that. And because she came across Seer, and Seer wanted to be Freya, she wanted to be a goddess. So she struck up a deal and she got into big time cosplaying, big time role playing, and she shared a part of her essence with Seer. Seer then turned into Horn, which is like her actual like part of her personality. And she shares like a conscientiousness with Freya, so Freya can pretend to be Seer. And this whole time, Freya has been Seer in disguise, working at the tavern, being a normal person, kind of living this second dual life, known by her familia that she doesn't. And she was just a tavern girl, an adventurer who also works at a tavern. And she ended up, though, legitimately falling in love. Even though she had eyes on Belle, she legitimately ended up falling in love with Belle just based on who Belle is. And she just really loved him. So this whole time, she's genuinely been trying to go after Belle as Seer, as Horn would take up Freya's mantle at times. And that's where she would share her goddess essence. And that's kind of where the confusion came of like, is Seer part goddess? Is Seer part this? Is Seer part that? No, Seer is Horn. Horn is sometimes Freya. Freya is Seer. Seer doesn't actually exist. Seer is just a second confidant, now dead, or a second character that Freya would play, now dead. And that's what ended up happening there. So I like how everything kind of came into fruition. I like how everything kind of came into place. And I like that this is not a Haruhime situation. I like that Seer actually doesn't end up existing. I like that it is just kind of Freya in disguise. I like where it's going now, as opposed to a couple episodes ago where I was just confused as hell, thinking that, you know, we're going to have another damsel in distress, you know, being manipulated and used by some shit familia. No, that's not the case here. So I really love that. And I can really imagine, for those of you who were familiar with the source material, who were reading it, I can imagine this being a very, very engaging, confusing, and awesome read. So it definitely makes sense for a lot of you guys who are like, no, this is not Haruhime. This is a whole other situation. You're going to love it. I can definitely understand that now because it definitely took a twist, unexpected twist. And I can imagine being, as I'm like reading it, I can imagine being really engaged. Like, yo, what just happened? And I think that's really cool. I think it got adapted very well. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but based on kind of how I got the information, it seems like it was adapted very well. Also, one of the other things I was asking for, and I was thinking before the episode like kind of like really got going, I was thinking earlier, you know, about the Ishtar Familia, and I was like, yo, where's my girl Aisha? You know, where is she? Where has she been? And we got to see some Aisha action here. She came to defend Haruhime. I was like, yo, my girl, like I asked and I shall receive. So I definitely loved seeing her again because I feel like she's just been like we got some Cassandra action. We need more Cassandra action. But I love how we got a little Aisha action this episode, at least for me, because I was literally wondering where was she. Last thing I'll say is Hermes was definitely, you know, in on everything that was happening. He wrote some shit down for Hestia to go and find him once again because he was very aware of aware of Freya's skills and what she can do, and he knew what was coming. So I think that is really cool as well too. So I can't wait to see what ends up happening there. And then Ryu did get taken out of Orario with the other girl. I forget what the other girl's name is, but the one who works for the Hermes family. She got taken out, so she's gonna be somebody who knows all of Belle's stuff, and that's why she's such a big part of the OP fighting the Freya Familias, because shit's about to go down. So yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Episode 5. I think this was like an 8 out of 10 episode, 8.5 out of 10. A really good episode. I thought I genuinely really loved it. I wasn't enjoying the seer stuff, and I'm glad like we could put a capoose on that because now we're just gonna focus on Freya. And I'm telling you guys, he's got a good gig lined up, like better familia, better resources, and a goddess who just wants to just chew you up. Like, oh, I would fold so hard. Eyes, what's her name? Get the F out. I got a new B over here. We about to make some babies. You know what I mean? We have some half goddess babies, half god babies. I'm gonna call them Hercules. All right, my friends. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.